Hello, so carrying on from where we left off yesterday. So we did the poor me. So what I want you to do today is actually just think of the self that you were yesterday. If you were the one saying poor me and, looking up at your circumstances and everything that's happening in your life and recognizing where you are kind of feeling sorry for yourself, where you are feeling down, where you are feeling depressed. And I always say it's so important just to acknowledge whatever you're going through. So I'm not saying that you should not feel the feelings of being down. You should not feel the feelings of feeling sorry for yourself, okay? It's okay. It's okay to wallow in misery. I also sometimes just stay in your pajamas if you need be. Take a couple of hours. Give yourself that time to actually just wallow and have a pity party. Get some chocolates, get whatever. But you know what? Give yourself that time to do that. And after that, snap out of it. Okay, I know it's not that easy, but you are not your mind. You are not your thoughts. You are the person thinking your thoughts. And this is something that I always say. You'll hear me repeating it because really it's something that I believe in. You are not your thoughts. You are not your mind. Okay, you are the person thinking those thoughts. You are the observer. You're the one looking at all of this. And once you realize that, that is actually where your power lies, in being able to see the good and the bad, the positive and the negative, the light and the dark. And that's your position of power. So all emotions just need acknowledgement. So when you are feeling down and depressed and you think the world is going to end, just tell yourself now, this observer person in you, say, okay, for the next 2 hours, actually just block out in your diary. This is my wallow time. And I do this. I know it sounds crazy, but you need to have like wallow misery time. And then you just writing. Okay, writing connects, there's like a nerve in your hand which is connected straight to your brain. Okay, so just start writing and you don't know what's going to come out. It's basically like a conversation to your higher self or whatever's like inside you, and just see what comes up. Just write down everything that you're miserable about. Write down everything that comes to mind, what all your fears are, what all your anxieties are. And then I want you to exaggerate it. Okay, so blow it completely out of proportion. So your first thing, write down everything that is on your mind as it comes up in all areas of your life. Okay, the second thing, just exaggerate it. So if you, let's use this corona story as a thing, okay? So the whole world is going through this COVID-19 and you are not alone in this, but you might feel like your expenses are bigger than everyone else's. Like your situation is worse than everyone else's. And when you actually look at the bigger picture, okay, there's always someone doing better than you. There's always someone doing worse than you. I woke up this morning and the first thing that came to my mind was, thank you so much for this safe environment. And it sounds like really silly, but when we did shooting for the TV series in Swellendam, and just hearing the stories of their everyday lives, it was on day 8 especially, dealing with the differently abled people. And they're just getting abused and raped on a daily basis. I may have been gang raped, once, okay? And maybe I've relived it in my mind, I don't know how many million times, okay? But physically, these people are not even in their right minds. They don't have what you have. They don't have this ability to control what's happening around them, okay? And the people in their environment, the ones who are supposed to be looking after them, they are taking advantage of them, okay? So when I think of those things, that really gets me riled up, okay? And then it just also, I look at what I've been through and I'm like, That is nothing compared. I'm not taking away from my own pain, and I'm not taking away from what you're experiencing, but just putting things in perspective that there's always someone doing better, there's always someone doing worse. And so it comes down to owning what is on your plate. And it's so easy to look at others and compare. But when you're doing that comparing game, make sure that you're comparing better, comparing worse, and then knowing that you are in the middle and you are in full control of your life. Okay. So sometimes it needs us to just, I don't normally swear, but grow a pair of fucking balls, because we just want to accept our reality and what's happening to us as the truth. We start believing the things that other people are telling us. We start believing when someone is knocking on our door demanding, say, a bond payment or a car. I don't know how many of you know about this, but there's so many relief measures in place with regards to your bank, with regards to your bond, with regards to your cars. I mean, my day job, I do accounting. Okay, so if you need that kind of assistance, I can scoot you in the right direction. I'm so super busy with my own clients and, my vision and my purpose and helping people and uplifting and empowering. But I mean, I have that knowledge in me as well. Okay, so don't accept if your landlord is threatening you and saying you have to pay your rent or whatever, because what we're going through is a massive global crisis. Okay, people are still figuring it out themselves. Okay, the accounting board is like, we on webinars and we on meetings with them because they are also trying to figure out the information. So it's unfair of the economy and powers that be and people demanding things. Like, everyone is on a mission just to collect. Like, even SARS, I deal with SARS on a daily basis. So they're also just taking money out of clients' accounts, which yes, they do have the power to do so. But now, because they're on a mission, because they need to pay all these UIF claims and whatever the case is. So if someone has a case, normally they would be a bit more lenient. They would let people do, put a case forward or whatever. So now they're just taking out the money. So things like, don't accept your circumstances, okay? You need to stand up. And today I posted something on my personal Facebook, which is like, your environment and your situation is asking you to stretch yourself, to expand your vision that you have for yourself. Stop accepting the things that you can't do, okay? Stop worrying and getting anxiety and feeling fears about everything you can't control, and look at what you can control. Can you control how much water you drink? Yes, and you tick it off on your chart. Can you control the food that's going into your mouth? Yes, you actually can. You can prepare your foods, and so take control of the things, because those little battles is what's going to give you your power on a daily basis. Ticking that you've done your workout, okay? I could go on with that forever, but I think that drives the point home, that don't just accept what your environment is giving you. It goes in with the theme of just rising up and taking control. There is a book that comes to mind. I have not read it yet. My sister's read it. Sometimes I feel that I have the knowledge within me from similar books, so I kind of just go through it. But it's called, and again, I don't swear, but Unfuckwithable. And that is the kind of mentality that you need to have, that no one can mess with you. Like, the doctor can come and tell you that, hey, I found this cancerous cells in your body and whatever. But you have a mind power that's so strong that you're like, no, give me 3 months and I know I'm going to heal this. Like, if someone had to tell that to me, that's what I would, say back to them. Like, yes, these reports might say this, because my reality and my view of myself is that I create my own reality, and no one is going to tell me what's going to happen in my life. Just to give you another example, my mom comes to me from the time I was 16 years old, and she has this problem with her legs, and it's like, these veins, these like blue veins and circulation problems. And she's always comes to me and she's like, you know, you're going to have this one day, so you better just treasure the legs that you have now. And I do treasure. And I said, but no, don't condition me to accept this, whatever. I'm choosing not to. And I'm almost 40 now. I'm 38 years old, and there is no sign of those veins that my mom has, because every time she tells it to me, I'm like, no, that is not my reality. That is not what I want. And I told you about the guy who runs every day, and I always say that I'm going to be like him. And so you choose your reality on a daily basis, whether you like it or not, whether you want to believe it or not. Everything is energy. And energy is vibrating particles. So inside here is water, it's liquid, okay? It's vibrating at a different pace to what the molecules are in here. And just like that, in us, we are vibrating at a certain frequency. So what we need to be doing is raising our vibration to match the thing that we want. So sometimes we think we need money, but it's not actually the money. It's the feeling that money is going to give us, or the thing that money is going to provide for us. So my biggest thing about money may be that I want to provide for my family. I want a safe environment for them. I want to be able to give them enough food. I want to be able, it's not even about the luxuries. I'm happy if I have a roof above my head. We safe and protected in here. Haven't even left here since before the lockdown. And so I practice being in that feeling on a daily basis. It doesn't matter about what sales, who's paying what, whatever. That is the feeling I give myself, so that it creates that reality, and I do actually have it. So hopefully I've been able to open your eyes a little and get you thinking a bit about what you are in control of and what you're not in control of. And at any given time, you have this opportunity to rewrite your own story. We honestly are so powerful. And the other thing I always repeat is, you heal and you empower a woman, and you really go on to help a community, because we are the ones that birth beings. We are the ones that look after our families, and we are the ones that want to go out and help communities. Men too, okay? But we're the ones that bring life onto this planet. So this life force, it's up to us, and it's up to you. And look who's in your little circle of influence. Be a force to be reckoned with, okay? Make everyone want to turn back their heads and be like, wow, what is this woman doing? What happened? What changed? What shifted? Okay? And it's just your thought pattern. So be the observer. Step into you. Let me just see if I've covered everything. Yeah. Oh. Yes, a little exercise you can do. So I want you to think of the poor you that we had yesterday. And in your mind, I want you to actually give yourself a hug. Give that poor you the biggest hug. Okay? And honor yourself. Treasure the person that you were, because that self was doing everything it can to protect you. But now that you have this extra knowledge, and now that you are doing this introspection into yourself, and now that you are investing all this time into yourself, now that you're watching what you're putting into your mouth, into your body, into your soul. And I mean, I'm not just saying this in the context of this group and everything that I'm providing. You're probably already on some sort of a journey. Your soul was already probably, longing to it, whether you go to church, whether you go to wherever. So see yourself as this massive, bigger self, so your higher self, and just give that poor self a big hug and just tell it what it needs to hear. So it's going to come up something different for each of you. It can be what you're wanting to hear. So you are protected. You are guided. You are loved. You're safe. You have everything that you need. You have a house, a roof above your head. You have food in the cupboards. And there may be uncertainty about the future, but don't let your outside circumstances determine what future you have. Rewrite it today.